Good? Listen, Matt and I are both from Philly, so we got to take the wins when we get them, right, Matt?
You can listen to that song all day.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being here today. We're really excited hearing Scott talk about all of the innovation and vision that's coming, but really listening to the transformative stories from our clients and how data collaboration is driving change and business outcomes for them is incredibly exciting. Today, Matt and I are going to speak for just a couple of minutes and kind of take you on a journey and share with you the enhancements and advancements we're making from a technology and platform standpoint to actually be able to deliver on the vision and the strategy and some of the exciting stories that Scott talked to you about today. So we're really excited to start that journey with you.
Excellent. So as we look at sort of the marketing journey here for this financial institution example, and as they're trying to target these luxury nomads with a very, very specific offer, you could see this representative of the type of journey that this marketer is trying to optimize every step of the way, as well as across all of it. Right? And if you look at that, there's a lot that makes that complicated. First of all, you're looking at, 10, 15 different companies. That means that you're talking about data that's getting produced and stored across every cloud, every different schema, every different data format, different identifiers, all with this consumer using different devices, different logins, and sometimes not logging in at all. And what we've heard and have known for decades is that this marketer is wanting to bring as much data and intelligence to every one of these touch points all along the way, and then use that data to infuse intelligence at every step along this way. And in a world of today where this data is siloed, and then making sense of that data, this is a challenge. And that is what we're here to talk about, of how data collaboration enables this.
Absolutely. And one of the core components of making that possible, looking at that customer journey and being able to deliver on the promises that you make to your consumers, but also be able to drive those business outcomes, is the network. LiveRamp has the largest collaborative network in the world. The reality is this, my friends. Regardless of what role you're in or where you work, if you are a marketer, a brand, an advertiser, if you're a media partner and provider, if you're a data provider, if you're a tech platform and agency, and you want to collaborate, the answer is yes, yes you can.
And so what does it take to power this network? What do you have to pair this network with to get the value out of it? First of all, identity. Every company wants to be customer-centric and have that 360 customer view. And even within one enterprise, that's a challenge, right? You have many, many different mediums and channels that you're interacting with your customers in, let alone your singular view of your customers, maybe slightly different than all of the partners that you want to collaborate with. Having that data, have a clear view of who this customer is, and be able to join it to the rest of the ecosystem is key and foundational. Next is interoperability. If you and 3, 4, 10 of your partners want to collaborate and have an idea that is mutually beneficial, an invalid question that would absolutely stop everything in the tracks is, well, which cloud should we use? What should we name our gender field? What is the format of your date timestamp? What the answer is that needs to just work with the data sitting as it is, no matter where it is. The third piece is data governance, right? Your legal departments, your privacy and governance departments, regulation is not going to live with a 100-page contract being the means to being able to control what can and can't happen with your data. You need technical controls that ensure that you have full transparency and control, and only the things that you and your organization are okay to do to honor your internal and external policies and honor the commitment to your consumer is the only thing that can occur. And then the last bit is the use cases. The use cases need to be there so that we don't get all the way to the starting line and everyone's now looking at a blinking cursor saying, okay, we've met the first 3, now everyone bring an army of data scientists and engineers to start building, right? Those use cases need to be templated as a starting point and an easy button.
So we could sit here and talk about our network, and we could talk about our platform all day long, but really what we want to do is focus on how these capabilities can enhance and simplify the activities that you do every single day. Plan, segment, connect, optimize, measure. These aren't new things. You're probably sitting there like, yeah, Daniella, no kidding. We've been doing this forever. And by the way, we're also every day trying to apply data and insights to that to make it more beneficial. But what we want to talk about are some of the enhancements in the platform itself to be able to better facilitate these activities and making them simpler, faster, and better, and driving better outcomes for you.
Scott just showed you a sneak peek at some of the exciting work that we're doing. He showed you how planning and segmentation is now going to get a whole lot easier, being able to access all of your first-party data, all second-party data that your partners may have made available to you in a clean room in a specific way, access the entire data marketplace and third-party data, and then with drastically less effort, be able to say, here are the objectives that, for my campaign. Tell me what segments would make sense here.
So from a connection standpoint, raise your hand. Most of you have worked with LiveRamp to activate data across the media ecosystem. Is that fair? Raise your hand if you're doing that or have done that or know that for us. We constantly hear things like, hey, we want to do this faster. We need to extend our reach. We need to unlock new use cases, as Matt said. And so what we've really been focused on in the past year is how do we speed up data ingestion? How do we do that? Because we know you want to get your data to its end destination as quickly as possible. We've also made enhancements to the graph so that when you are able to push that data, you can maximize your reach wherever it is that your consumers are consuming content. And in fact, over the past year, we've seen about a 10%, we've had about a 10% increase in match rates in general, which is incredibly exciting around a lot of the work that we're doing around the graph. And lastly, it's not just about what we can do within the platform, but it's the partnerships. It's that ecosystem and the partnerships. You heard Scott talk about some of those partners and the incredible things that are happening. So it's not just about how you can maximize your data across the media landscape, but how you can unlock new use cases and opportunities across MarTech, across AI partners, which I think is incredibly exciting because it's new channels for you to be able to use your data from a single place.
And optimization is one of the areas of our roadmap that I am most excited about. I know a ton of you use data collaboration today to be able to supply the ad systems of the media partners that you work with those conversion signals so that as your campaign is running, it can be optimized. But as we look at where all of this is going, optimization is about to get step functions better, where you are able to simply bring so much more data to bear, so much more intelligence to bear, and be able to do this optimization not just within, but across all of your channels.
So you're excited about optimization. We're going to spend the lion's share of our time on this next one, which is measurement. I'm really, really excited to talk about this one. The reality is this. You have never had more opportunities to connect with your consumers and inform those connections with data. But with that opportunity also comes a challenge to understand performance within all of these partners and across all of these partners. How do you understand what is working? Oftentimes, you're left with incomplete data or data that might not be accurate. Are you making the right decisions? And these are things that we want to solve for today.
And so I think back to my very, very first job in advertising and marketing, where I was working at DoubleClick before it was, while it was still an independent company, and it highlighted something that was true then that it still is true now, and why data collaboration is important, right? And what my job was there you had a bunch of marketers who were logging into DFA, if anyone will remember that Dart for advertisers, and they were looking at their report that showed them their optimal frequency to conversion. And they would say, okay, I logged in, it's 6, and then I look at my average frequency for the campaign is 6. And so some marketers were saying, great, I'm right on point, but that there was a handful of marketers who said that's not showing me what I really need to know. Because even though my average is 6, what I need you to do is go into those data transfer logs, get access to that user and event level data, and find out what's really happening. Even though my average is 6, it still could be that I'm spending 70% of my media spend on impressions above that average, and below on users who will never get to that optimal average. And so getting access to this high fidelity user and event level data is the key to powering these insights and outcomes, and why data collaboration is so critical.
So that challenge is one of many. That is the reason that we built this platform. We built this platform so that advertisers and media providers and anybody within the ecosystem can now unlock better, stronger, more streamlined measurement in a safe, secure, and scalable way, which is incredibly exciting. Imagine you're an advertiser and you're working with a few of these logos up here. Let's say you're working with Fox and Trade Desk and Paramount, DirecTV. And you can now log in to a system once, and now you can look at your performance in one place within each of those partners, making it so much simpler for you. But we didn't stop there, because we got feedback, and we know that it can be really difficult to get started. There's so many opportunities when you start thinking about data collaboration, and you think about being able to access data via clean room that you've not had access to before. You think about all of the opportunities that can bring. It can be daunting. It's like, where do we start? What we've done is we've built an intelligence layer within the clean room that now it provides you standardized reports so that you can now get started faster, and you can drive efficiency and speed to value in a much more condensed time frame.
And listen, I'll give some anecdotes here, because I won't sugarcoat it. 2-3 years ago, so much of this was so new. You know, you and your partner, you could have that lunch and say, hey, cheers, this is what we're going to do. And it was complicated to get up and running. It did take time. It did take manual human steps. But you know what? We have evolved. We have a set of teams who are obsessed with these two metrics: time to get live and time to value. And so I got to check in with them on two recent anecdotes. The first is a media company and their advertising partner were able to get up and running in under 24 hours without a single person from LiveRamp even knowing that it was occurring, let alone helping. The other one is a retail media network who got their second CPG brand on and reported back that it took 1% of the time and effort as getting the first one up and running.
I love the progress, because it's so critical for us not just to be able to do this in a way, to be able to provide the opportunity, but be able to speed up the value. Now imagine if you could then take all of what we just talked about and apply that across your partners. What would that unlock for you? How exciting would that be? Well, folks, you can now. So today, Scott mentioned it earlier, we are officially launching cross-media intelligence, which takes the best and the power of our vast collaborative network and combines that with LiveRamp's multi-party clean room capabilities to unlock a new era of measurement. It's not easy though, is it, Matt?
It is not. And so when we talk about releasing cross-media intelligence, let me explain exactly what we set out to do and why we had to do it. Being able to measure across all of your media partners, and again, being able to do it with that user and event level data, historically has always been hard. It often has required all parties to go back to those original pieces, standardize the schemas, ship all of the data into one place, or use less fidelity data as proxies. So one of the first pieces is we needed to understand data needs to be able to stay where it is, in whatever format it is, and be usable. And so interoperability, being able to run these analytics across clouds, across schemas, across formats, across identifiers. The second bit is, listen, if you're a marketer, you need to understand the degree of sensitivity that what you are asking of your media partners. You are saying, hey, I want you and 14 of your friendly competitors to let me do analytics across all of your data and create my own report card. That is sensitive. And so the only way these media partners of yours that are going to be able to do this, are going to be able to convince their management, their legal department, their privacy department that this is okay, is with those data governance technical controls, where they can know exactly how their data will be used and by who, and who will see what. The third is, the identity piece. You're talking about now being able to join this data across, again, 15, 20 different enterprises. And the last bit is configurable measurement. You need standard models that you can configure to answer the questions you need so that you have an easy button to get started that once you plug in, your path to that value and getting to the measurement insights is clear and fast. The other important piece here, and this is true of everything we do in our data collaboration platform, is we need to meet the needs of two different personas. On the right, you need marketing departments to be able to come in, ask marketing questions, and get answers. And so, again, that's why we ship our platform with ready-to-go use cases end-to-end that can easily deliver that value. The second is we also need room for the ability for builders to build, to innovate and iterate, right? We know that there's companies who are gonna say, I don't want your models, I have my own data science team. I need them to be able to go and author their own use cases, their own measurement models. I wanna bring in my measurement partners, and we're excited to invite all of you to come in and build on top of this infrastructure that we've built here.
So you might be asking, what if I'm a marketer, an advertiser, what do I get out of it? I think there's 4 things that are pretty exciting. One is you can understand deduplicated reach across your partners. You can understand global frequency, both at an audience and person-based level across your publishers. You can take MTA, multi-touch attribution strategies, and apply them across your publishers. And now across everybody on your media plan, you have the capability to be able to understand how to optimize and maximize your incrementality based on your partner's performance. Incredibly exciting. But let's take a look, because it's great that we can do all of this, but we need to make it simple for you. So let's take a look at it, or how easy it is. So the first thing we're gonna do is just look at building a measurement plan. If you look at the screen, there's 3 steps. The first thing you do is you pick your partners that you wanna measure against. Then you go through and you pick the audiences that you want to measure against. And the third thing that you do is you pick the success metric or the conversion metric that you want to, and that you want to measure against. That's all you do. And you click, build your plan. It's that simple. We're making it even easier to do some of the other work too, aren't we?
Yeah, and listen, the other part of measurement is there's always going to be those set of humans who know a few things that are important to this. Hey, the Super Bowl ad and the football ad, those are the same. I need that to be 1 row in my reporting. I need all aggregation at that level. That used to take so much tedious time. Hey, media partner 3 here, they didn't have impressions for the first week. Is that a problem? Or is that a data problem, or was that by design? Again, that's something that it used to be that only a few humans would know, have to run everything first and find out that it was wrong. And then all of this to easily then just ultimately be able to ignore all those complications. Let those be abstracted away. The fact that this is running across clouds, across identifiers, across schemas, so you can just log in and get your answers from a single pane of glass.
So I think you can tell we're pretty excited about this. I don't know, are you guys excited about it? Yes! All right. The reality is what we're trying to build here and what we're building is a capability that allows you, a capability that allows you to look at your entire media plan. If you think about the data collaboration and the measurement opportunities that it unlocks for everybody in this room. Again, going back to the ability to do this in a safe and scalable way and unlock more transparency for all of us that we've been looking for. But it's being able to do this across your entire media plan, across all of your channels, across social and television, and programmatic and digital, looking at commerce media networks, understanding and optimizing how all of your partners can work together to really drive outcomes. Now, we have had a couple of customers, not just a couple, we have been working with a lot of customers around cross-media intelligence, and it's driving results. 6x increase in coverage. You saw Matt do the demo about just making sense of the data and getting rid of spreadsheets and being able, in that case, to use AI as a mechanism to write rules and simplify. Doing all of that has sped up our clients' ability to get to insights and value faster by 4x. And as importantly, if not most importantly, it's also driving results. And in this case, a 25% return on investment. Incredibly exciting. So we've talked about a lot today. I think we're really excited about the launch of the intelligence layer within the clean room, and then adding on to that the ability for you to now measure across your media partners. We've unlocked a lot. I think you probably saw the announcement that we made yesterday and the press release that we announced yesterday. We've had a lot of demand for cross-media intelligence. And because of that, we are launching it with a limited release. So if you want to know more, you can do one of three things. First, talk to your LiveRamp rep. Second, Scott mentioned the showcase. Go over and head over to the showcase. But before I talk about that, at 10:30 today, Christine Gremier and Hill's Pet Nutrition and Material and RPA, they're actually going to be doing a panel specifically about cross-media intelligence and the value that it's bringing to their organizations. So go check that out at 10:30. Immediately following that, at 11, is the showcase. And in the showcase, you have the opportunity to go at 11 to see a deeper dive and a demo of this solution. On top of it, though, we also have demo stations set up and people that are there ready to talk to you and show you the platform itself and show you all of that. Speaking of the showcase, go and learn and talk to LiveRamp experts. Also, we're excited because we have a lot of partners that are in the showcase that are sharing some of the innovative things that they are doing through our partnerships. So you can go and listen to TikTok. You can listen to Google, Paramount. We have our Canadian Go-To-Market partner, EA, that's going to be sharing, and so many others. So we're excited about what we can show you and actually give you hands-on knowledge and experience with. So with that, before I hand it back to Matt, my ask is this. Let's collaborate. Let's talk about something new. Let's connect in different ways, and let's unlock and uncover some new use cases that we can collectively deliver against. We're in it together.
If I had to leave you all with one thing, I already dated myself with my double-click reference from back in the early aughts. But you know, we've spent a recent number of years reading some pretty scary doom and gloom articles. And it is true that data has become more siloed. The use of data, listen, we as an industry, we needed to grow up. And so doing things responsibly has a higher bar. But I will tell you that now that we've made it through all those, there is a future path ahead of how to do this. And so, truth be told, you would now have an ability to put more data to work and infuse more intelligence than ever before. And so, I encourage you and your teams, when you're in that meeting thinking, how can we do something better, ask the question, who has the data that would make this better? Because the answer is, chances are you will absolutely be able to collaborate and get access to that data and infuse that value. Thank you all.
Thank you all very much.